भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गे स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तर्षो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पति ददाहु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Thank you, Gauri. Next, I would like to welcome Rachana for the welcome speech.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Rachana.
Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. Good evening, one and all. I take this opportunity to warmly welcome all our dignitaries and friends to this wonderful webinar conducted by Postgraduate Department of Economics and Research Center, Government College for Women, Thiruvananthapuram. This is the 16th webinar of the series organized by EcoWings. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Srimati Manjulakshmi IAS, District Collector of Sindhudurg, Maharashtra. We are indeed grateful for your gracious presence, ma'am. I am very happy to welcome our principal, Sri Aravind Krishnan sir. I feel grateful to welcome our HOD Uma ma'am and faculty coordinator Janagi ma'am, who constantly support us and believe in us. I would also like to welcome teachers, parents, and students who are all set to make this event a wonderful one. Once again, I welcome all who are gathered here. Thank you.
Next, I call our HOD, Dr. Uma Jyoti ma'am, to share a few words. Ma'am, please.
Thank you. Good evening to all. Dear Manjulakshmi IAS, respected Shabarish sir, dear friends and children, hearty welcome to the 16th webinar in the series managed by our UG and PG students during the lockdown period. Of course, quite consistent with their offline initiatives in the pre-pandemic period. Congratulations to Team First BA on their beautiful teamwork that made this webinar happen. So this is the 4th webinar coordinated by these students, though they are yet to see their classroom and sit together outside the virtual spaces. I appreciate the faculty coordinator, my dear colleague S.R. Janagi, other teachers and senior students for supporting them. Today's online interactive session is very special for us, not only for the relevance of the theme, but also by the presence of a resource person who is not at all a guest, but a part of our department. Our former student Manjulakshmi, who was here from 2004 to 2007, and then scaled up to reach the place that she truly deserved, the Indian Administrative Service. These are very proud moments for our department, and my memories go back to the very first day of the first BA batch 2004-07, a very crude and informal induction chat with the students, and there was a girl with dreams in her eyes. Her only concern was that she had not learned economics till that day, and she was a science student in the higher secondary stage. Her first question to the teacher was, "Teacher, can I grasp economics?" Her second question was, teacher, how to read and understand a book in economics? And of course, the teacher gave answers, but the student went further, explored her paths with full faith in herself. Manju Lakshmi. She never missed any opportunities to think or act outside the box. And in fact, I believe that for her, there was no such box. An active participant and winner in many competitions at college level, state level, and national level, a very persuasive debater, an outstanding orator, one of the pioneers of our manuscript magazine, Maitri, which later on changed as Artha Sahiti. And finally, Manju Lakshmi moved out from the college, winning the Best Outgoing Student Award and with the first rank in BA examination, university examination. After doing post-graduation in the Central University of Hyderabad, she came back to Thiruvananthapuram with UGC JRF in economics. She joined for research in the University Department of Economics, Karyavata, but she always engaged with her dream, worked for it with a very methodical study plan. She cleared the civil services examination in 2011, got into the Indian Revenue Service, but in 2013 she reached her goal, the Indian Administrative Service, now working in Maharashtra, the district collector of Sindhudurg, stamping her mark as an able administrator. And despite her very hard responsibilities in her district and also the very pleasant role as a mother of twins, she is here with us. Much love and gratitude, dear Manju. Hearty welcome, and also welcome to respected Shabarish sir. I think he's here. He is in the Indian Revenue Service. As many of you know, Manju Lakshmi's husband. So that is an inspiring presence, of course, to Manju also. So dear students, she is here not to give you the shortcuts to success, but for inspiring you to believe in your own wings. So when she speaks and when you interact with her, please look closely at the present you are constructing, because that should look like the future you are aiming at or you are dreaming. Best wishes to all of you. Once again, hearty welcome to dear Manju Lakshmi. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. Now, here comes the most awaited moment. Let me invite our guest for the day. But more than our guest, I would like to introduce her to you as one of the most beloved member of our family. She is none other than Srimati K. Manju Lakshmi IAS. She is presently working as the District Collector and District Magistrate of Sindhudurg, Maharashtra. She has also bagged an All India rank of 63 in 2013 UPSC examination. Previously, she was also an IRS officer from 2011 batch. She worked as the Assistant Collector of Ratnagiri, Maharashtra during her probation period, and she has worked as the Assistant Secretary of Ministry of Coal in Government of India. She was also the Assistant Collector of Nashik in Maharashtra and CEO Zilla Parishad of Sindhudurg, Maharashtra. And the most exciting part for us is that she is the former student of our very own economics department at Government College for Women, Thiruvananthapuram. And as a student, she always made sure to leave her impressions to the coming up generation forever, which is evident from her achievements of being the best outgoing student and rank holder of our college in the year 2007. I wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am, to this session.
Good evening to all. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So am I supposed to give a brief introduction of 5 or 10 minutes? How could you just chart out how do you plan to go about this?
Like we can have a 5 or 10 minutes, like you can talk with us, then after that we'll go into an interaction section. That's how we have planned. So yeah.
So first of all, I would like to thank my teacher and all my juniors and all my teachers at Women's College for this opportunity to it's come back and interact with you all. I'm very, very happy to be here with you. Currently, as in my introduction, as it was mentioned, I'm serving as collector in Sindhudurg district. So I thought I'll share with you some of my professional experiences in facing COVID, and then my preparation, and maybe in your questions and your interaction sessions, you can ask me if there are specific questions. As it was earlier mentioned, I was a student of the Department of Economics from 2004 to 2007, and and post that, I had gone on to do my master's in economics from the Central University of Hyderabad. And after that, I prepared for in 1 year, and I gave my prelims in 2010 when I cleared the UPSC for the first time, and I got into the Indian Revenue Service. And in 2013, I got into the Indian Administrative Service. So it has been a very enriching journey. So I would like to tell you all that I would encourage you all that you should have more and more women in the services. And I remember you all are first year students, and as Uma teacher rightly said now, I was a science student. I came with a lot of insecurities, whether because there is always, I think so many years back, the situation was a bit more tilted towards professional courses. Parents and the society at large wanted, they considered you capable enough only if you qualified, or only if you were a student of either medicine or engineering. I think the situation, the scenario has changed. We have so many young men and women from Kerala who are clearing the services, and I'm very, very sure that, it is many of you who are hearing me. I think there are 59, 60 students who are listening to me now, and I'm 100% sure that many of you would be at this end and, talking to students in years to come. So the situation was a bit different then. So I had my insecurities when I joined Women's College, and I'm from a small town in Mavelikira, Tadakkara, Mavelikira. It is in Alapura district. So entire schooling I did in very near to my home only, and this was the first time I was venturing out of my home. So coming to Trivandrum, immediately, the college, what joining, should I go for a coaching class now, or should I meet, meeting similar minded people? That was again one more thing, because after my 12th standard, because I was a science student, I did not even know what were the opportunities. For example, whether should you go to Delhi University, or whether was there a possibility of going to Chennai? So from somebody from a very small town, going to Women's College, and then what? Because Women's College also, because Women's College, we used to see in the newspapers, there were so many alumni of Women's College who had cleared and who had got into the services. There were so many, every year there used to be a first rank which was coming from the department. So it encouraged me to join the college, and it was what my parents also were convinced then. So I joined the college. I used to be staying in a hostel behind the Women's College. It used to be called Zanana Mission. I don't know if any of you are, residents there now. And then we used to the everyday classes, and my teachers, I think I should specifically mention, Uma teacher is one person who has been a constant beacon of light for all of us and for all the activities. I would like to mention Naidu sir, Manju teacher. They have all been guiding us throughout this journey, and I cannot go without mentioning Narayan sir. He used to be our mentor for economics and civil services also. So after that, I used to be very active also, and I met similar-minded people, as I said before. So people who wanted to write the civil services exams, people who were already attending some kind of coaching somewhere. So meeting with them, interacting with them, I think the college gave me the kind of exposure which was actually required for the exam. I did not attend any kind of coaching classes during my graduation, but I used to continue reading the newspaper. I used to take part in debate competition. One of my very close friend and inspiration, Fedna, she was also in psychology department. So I remember we used to go for all debate competitions together. We got first prize in South India, all South India universities, and we went to Kurukshetra in Delhi for a national university meet. So all these are very fond memories, and I believe all these gave me the kind of confidence that is, which came out to play later on during my interview stage, or even in preparing for the general studies, because it was never I always used to see it as a job. Like I enjoyed reading general studies. I never used to see it as a very huge burden of, you are preparing, you are studying. I used to look forward to reading general studies topics. And my two options, I did economics. So I did economics. I took economics as one option. I had a JRF. I did my master's from Hyderabad. So I was confident in taking up economics as one of the options. And my second option was Malayalam literature. So it used to be the preparation as a journey, I believe you should enjoy. So because you have to be in this grind you have to prepare yourself to be in this grind for anything to 1 year or even more than that. Some of the lucky ones we clear in the first attempt, but you should be prepared to be perseverant and go on and try and give more attempts. So it should be something that you enjoy doing. So I think the journey should be very memorable, and for that I think you need to love the subjects. So you're all students of it. Now I believe that the pattern itself has changed. So you being students of economics, many of you will be taking up economics as one of the options. I would strongly recommend you to take up economics as one of the options. So you should start enjoying the learning process from now onwards, I believe, update economics, how to assimilate it with the current affairs and go on, and how to start and prepare the groundwork for your preparation of the civil services now. And let me tell you, it has been a very, very rewarding journey till now. I got posted in this district as collector in January 2020. And from then on, you all know how in March the whole COVID situation spiraled out. And I think you are, as in a responsible position of leadership, the kind of work that you are able to do. Implementation of the lockdown. We had lockdown declared from March 21st. So we share borders with Goa. How do you implement the lockdown? How do you convince the people? How do you enforce? And tell them, this has to be done. How do you coordinate with the departments? You coordinate with the police, you coordinate with the health department, the Gram Panchayats, convincing the people and giving them, strengthening them, giving them confidence that we will be able to tide over it. So the regulatory part is one such as district magistrate. And also the second part, I feel the developmental activities, when you plan out the health infrastructure. So I am collector in a district called Sindhudurg. So we had the huge responsibility of building the whole health infrastructure, setting up an RT-PCR lab, setting up the dedicated oxygen line, buying how many ventilators do you need, setting up COVID centers, CCCs, monitoring the quarantines. So it is a huge, responsibility, and I think it is such an accelerating challenge. And ultimately, you feel useful. That that is, I feel that is the crux of the objective of being in the service. Initially, when you dream about the service, it may not be about, you may not even know what is the service about. We all must have assimilated the information. We all must have been motivated by a few success stories that came in the newspapers. We may have been motivated from a couple of movies. But the actual crux of what the exam is, I think that is being useful, I feel. And in these past couple of months, I would like to tell you the kind of job satisfaction that you get, the kind of leadership role that you go to play. Today, my active cases are only 300 in the total district. So the kind of contentment that you get from this job, I think you cannot, imagine it in any other sector. I am extremely happy with the fact that I chose the civil services as a career option, and I would strongly urge all of you to do so too, because there is a lot that you can do to the society. And this is just one such situation, COVID situation, handling it for 8 months. You are interacting with the Gram Panchayats, you are monitoring Ashas, Anganwadi workers who are going on, monitoring quarantines. So I think it's, this is one such experience which only the Indian administrative service can provide you. And I would, strongly recommend all my juniors, my dear juniors, that, you should all strive and write for this exam, because there is a lot that you can contribute to the society. And also, if you look at the percentage of women that are in the service now, I think it is a very less proportion compared to the number of the total population share. If I sit in a room, the number of officers of class 1 grade, like I have additional collectors or deputy collectors, so the number of women representation also should increase. And I feel as Women's College, Department of Economics should contribute a lot more women officers to the nation. I just want to tell you that there is, there is nothing that is stopping you. Many of you may have come from similar backgrounds like me. Like you may have come from rural areas. You may not you may be having insecurities. Your parents may be having insecurities, or you may not. This is a very unpredictable exam. So people may tell you that there is, you may clear, you may not clear. So the whole question of insecurities, it shouldn't be there. There is nothing that is, impossible out there. And there is also a myth that only the most brilliant ones, in Malayalam we say, that is not. So what I want to tell you is, it is not impossible. You only need a mind to work hard, to persevere, and you need the patience, to fight this out. Then I think I am 100%, I assure you, you understand the exam. So understand what the exam requires, and if you have that will in you, then there is nothing that is going to stop you. I want you all, want to reassure you that this is idoru bali geramale alla. So anybody of you who try and who set out your heart with, you are 100% bound to succeed in it. Just that you should go on and persevere and do hard work. You should have the, mentality. You should be ready for hard work. And I'm sure the Women's College, you have teachers like Uma teacher. You have, I don't know the other teachers. I'm sure all your faculties also would help you in paving the roadmap ahead. I would very gratefully remember Women's College, all the faculties I mentioned in the economics department. I remember Vijay Kumar sir, who used to do audio clubs for us. So I remember with gratitude everybody, and I'm sure that all of you who have joined here would be able to fulfill your dreams. I wish you all the best. I would answer specific questions if there are any regarding preparation or regarding my job or training, that any of which you would like to post to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful speech. Next, I would like to welcome our respected principal for a few words. Sir.
Thank you very much. Hello. Megha, hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. This is your webinar in 3rd ദിവസം, correct?
Yes, sir.
വെബിനാറിന്റെ 3ാം ദിവസം ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ സ്പീക്കർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വളരെ എമിനന്റ് സ്കോളറാണ്, ശ്രീമതി മഞ്ജു ലക്ഷ്മി IAS. ഐ തിങ്ക് മാഡം കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങളോട് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഹൗ ടു പ്രിപ്പയർ ഫോർ ദ സബ്ജക്ട്, ഹൗ ടു കൺഫ്രണ്ട് ദി ensuing examination ഫോർ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് ദി സിവിൽ സർവീസസ്. അങ്ങനെ വെച്ച് കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ, പിന്നെ മാഡത്തോട് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്ത് നിങ്ങളുടെ കൂടുതൽ പഠിക്കേണ്ട ആവശ്യകതയും കൂടെ മാഡം ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സ്പീക്കിൽ സംസാരിച്ച് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അത് മാഡത്തിന് മാക്സിമം നിങ്ങൾ യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്യുക. ഒപ്പം പിന്നെ എന്താണ് പറയുക, ഇത്തരം ഒരു വെബിനാർ ഞാൻ ആദ്യത്തെ ദിവസം പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ തന്നെയാണ്, ചെറിയ വലിയ മാറ്റങ്ങൾക്ക് വിധേയമായി കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഓരോരുത്തരും. ആ മാറ്റങ്ങളെ ഉൾക്കൊണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് വെർച്വലായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് പകരം, നമ്മൾ ഫിസിക്കലായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് പകരം നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മീറ്റിംഗ്, ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു മീറ്റിങ്ങിലൂടെ എങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് സംസാരിക്കാനും കാണാനും ഇടയുണ്ടാക്കിയതിന് വളരെയധികം നന്ദി പ്രകാശിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഒപ്പം ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റിലെ മൊത്തം ടീച്ചേഴ്സിനോടും കോളേജിന്റെ വകയായിട്ടുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ഒപ്പം ഏകദേശം ഈ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ മീറ്റിംഗിൽ 64 പേരോളം ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അവർക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും കോളേജിന്റെ അഭിനന്ദനം അർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഒപ്പം തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്കും ഇതുപോലെ എന്തെങ്കിലും സിവിൽ സർവീസുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് വരുന്ന സംശയങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ മടിക്കരുത്. ഞാനും സിവിൽ സർവീസിന്റെ ഒരു മെന്ററാണ്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് നിങ്ങളെ സഹായിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അത് മാറ്റി നിർത്തണ്ട എന്നും കൂടെ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഞാൻ ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്ദി, നമസ്കാരം. ഓക്കെ.
Thank you, sir. So next we'll we'll move on to the interaction session. The participants can ask the question to the resource person, and please try and make the questions crisp and clear because we are strict to time. So the floor is now open for questions.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Can you share your experience in Maharashtra? Like, no, it's very different when compared to Kerala, no? So the mindset of the people, the problems you face there, like those simple things.
I think all of you, I think I'll try to be bilingual because as much as possible, I'll try to communicate in both Malayalam and English. Would you prefer that?
Yes, ma'am.
So, see, civil service പരീക്ഷ എഴുതുന്ന എല്ലാവരും ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു കാർഡർ അലോട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും ഹോം സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ലഭിക്കും എന്നുള്ളൊരു പ്രതീക്ഷയിലായിരിക്കില്ലല്ലോ. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ആദ്യമേ തന്നെ യു ആർ മെന്റലി പ്രിപ്പയർഡ്. യു മേ ബി ഗോയിങ് ടു എ ഡിഫറെന്റ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്. അപ്പൊ ആ ഒരു പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ, ഒരു മാനസികമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു തയ്യാറെടുപ്പ് എനിക്ക് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ആദ്യമേ തന്നെ. സോ അതിനുശേഷം ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് തന്നെ ഐ യൂസ് ടു ഇമാജിൻ മൈസെൽഫ്. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഒരു പുതിയ ഒരു സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ പോകുന്നു, ഒരു പുതിയ ഭാഷ സംസാരിക്കുന്നു, അവിടുത്തെ ആളുകളോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇമാജിൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഐ ഗോട്ട് മഹാരാഷ്ട്ര. മഹാരാഷ്ട്ര ഈസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഡെവലപ്ഡ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്, പക്ഷെ കുറച്ചൊരു ഡെവലപ്മെന്റൽ ഡിവൈഡ് ഉള്ള സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ആണ്. ഇഫ് യു സീ ദർ ആർ മുംബൈ ആണെങ്കിലും പൂനെ ആണെങ്കിലും യു ഹാവ് വെരി മെട്രോ ടൗൺസ് ഒക്കെ ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഡെവലപ്ഡ്. ബട്ട് റൂറൽ ഏരിയസിലോട്ടൊക്കെ പോകുമ്പോഴത്തേനും ദർ ഇസ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് നീഡ് ഫോർ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ്. അപ്പൊ കേരളത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ഭൂമികയല്ല മഹാരാഷ്ട്രയിൽ. സോ ഒത്തിരി ഡെവലപ്മെന്റൽ നീഡ്സ് ഉള്ള ഒരു സംസ്ഥാനമാണ്. So initially I was posted in Nashik as assistant collector. ആദ്യം എന്റെ പ്രൊബേഷൻ പീരീഡ് രത്നഗിരിയിലായിരുന്നു. Then you are just during your training time you will be attached to different offices and you will be having probationary charge for a month each. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ആദ്യം BDO ആയിട്ട് ഒരു മാസം, തഹസിൽദാർ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു മാസം, പിന്നെ അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് കളക്ടർ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു മാസം, SDM ആയിട്ട് ഒരു മാസം, അങ്ങനെ ഓരോരോ കപ്പാസിറ്റീസിൽ ആദ്യം ഒരു കളക്ടർ ഓഫീസിലുള്ള അറ്റാച്ച്മെന്റിന് ശേഷം ഓരോ മാസം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു പ്രൊബേഷണറി റോളാണ് ഒരു വർഷത്തേക്ക്. അതിനുശേഷം നിങ്ങൾ തിരിച്ച് ലബാസ്നയിൽ പോകുന്നു. ഫേസ് 2 ഒരു മാസത്തോളം ഉള്ള ഒരു ഫേസ് 2 കാലഘട്ടത്തിന് ശേഷം ഞങ്ങളുടെ ബാച്ചാണ് ആദ്യമായിട്ട് സെൻട്രൽ ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഒരു ഡെപ്യൂട്ടേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായി. സോ ഐ സെർവ്ഡ് ആസ് അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് സെക്രട്ടറി ഇൻ ദ മിനിസ്ട്രി ഓഫ് കോൾ ഫോർ 3 months. അതിനുശേഷമാണ് നമ്മൾ മഹാരാഷ്ട്രയിൽ വരുന്നത്. നാഷിക്കിലായിരുന്നു എന്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ പോസ്റ്റിംഗ്. അവിടെ അസിസ്റ്റന്റ് കളക്ടർ ആൻഡ് പ്രോജക്ട് ഓഫീസർ. അപ്പൊ ഈ പ്രോജക്ട് ഓഫീസർ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു കപ്പാസിറ്റിയിൽ ഐ ഗോട്ട് ടു വർക്ക് വിത്ത് ITDP, ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് ട്രൈബൽ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് പ്രോഗ്രാം. അതൊരു വലിയൊരു എക്സ്പോഷർ ആയിരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് എ പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് മൈ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ കരിയർ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ചെറിഷ് ടിൽ ഡേറ്റ്. അവിടെ ഐ ഹാഡ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് 40 hostels which were dedicated for tribal students, and I had almost 41 ashram shalas. They are all ashram shalas എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ they are residential schools which are dedicated to the tribal children. അപ്പൊ അവരുടെ ഡെവലപ്മെന്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് വി പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് കോച്ചിങ് സെന്റേഴ്സ് which could train them for professional courses, ഇപ്പൊ മെഡിസിൻ, എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ്, UPSC, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ MPSC, മഹാരാഷ്ട്ര ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് സർവീസസ്, അതിനുവേണ്ടി അവരെ തയ്യാറെടുപ്പിക്കുന്നതൊക്കെ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് എ ഹ്യൂജ് മോട്ടിവേഷൻ. ഇന്ററാക്ടിങ് വിത്ത് ദം, ഗോയിങ് ടു ദെയർ ആദിവാസി പാടാസ്, അതൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര ഒരു മെമ്മറിയാണ് എനിക്ക്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു സെൻട്രൽ കിച്ചൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് യു മേ ഹാവ് ഹേർഡ് അബൌട്ട് അക്ഷയ പാത്ര. അക്ഷയ പാത്രയുമായിട്ട് വി ഹാഡ് എ ടൈപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ദെൻ വി സെറ്റ് അപ്പ് എ സെൻട്രൽ കിച്ചൺ ഇൻ നാഷിക് വിച്ച് സപ്ലൈഡ് ഫുഡ് ടു ഓൾ ദ ആശ്രം ശാലാസ് ഇൻ ദ നാഷിക് പ്രോജക്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതൊരു വലിയൊരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. സോ എവറിത്തിങ് വാസ് മെക്കനൈസ്ഡ് ആൻഡ് ഓട്ടോമേറ്റഡ്. ഇപ്പം അരി കഴുകുന്നത്, പച്ചക്കറി അരിയുന്നത്, ചപ്പാത്തി തയ്യാറാക്കുന്നതും എവറിത്തിങ് വാസ് ഓട്ടോമേറ്റഡ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് വാസ് എ വെരി ഹ്യൂജ് അച്ചീവ്മെന്റ്. അല്ലാതെ വളരെ നല്ല മെമ്മറീസ് ആണ് എനിക്ക് നാഷിക്കുമായിട്ട്. ഐ വാസ് ദെയർ ഫോർ ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് എ ഇയർ, ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് ഐ വാസ് പോസ്റ്റഡ് ഇൻ CO posted as CEO in Jilla Parishad in Sindhupur. But ഈ ഡിസ്ട്രിക്റ്റിൽ തന്നെ ഞാൻ CEO ആയിരുന്നു. 2 വർഷത്തെ ഒരു ടെന്യൂർ പൂർത്തിയാക്കിയതിനു ശേഷം എന്നെ ഇവിടെ തന്നെ കളക്ടറായിട്ട് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തു. So Jilla Parishad is one official capacity which doesn't exist. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത്ര പവർഫുൾ അല്ല. കേരളത്തിൽ PDDR ആണ് കൂടുതലും കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതർവൈസ് കേരളത്തിൽ ഒരു സെൻട്രൽ കമാൻഡ് ആണ്. കളക്ടർ തന്നെയാണ് ഡെവലപ്മെന്റ് ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസും ബാക്കിയുള്ള റെഗുലേറ്ററി ഫംഗ്ഷൻസും ചെയ്യുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ there is a junior IAS officer, immediate junior to the collector maybe, so who will be handling the ഇപ്പം CEO ആയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യും. സിഒയില് ഹെൽത്ത് ഉണ്ട്, എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഉണ്ട്, ആനിമൽ ഹസ്ബൻഡറി ഉണ്ട്. സോ ദർ ഇസ് എ umpteen departments under you and you get a direct exposure, all the gram panchayats. So as I had 431 gram panchayats under me, there were almost 4,000 teachers in almost 2,000 Jilla Parishad schools. So huge manpower ആണ് നമ്മുടെ കീഴിൽ നമുക്ക് അവരെ മാനേജ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതായിട്ടുള്ളത്. എല്ലാ ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ്സിനും there are different programs. You have the Swachh Bharat mission, you have the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. All these development programs are implemented via the Jilla Parishad. അതെനിക്കൊരു വളരെ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈങ് ടെന്യൂർ ആയിരുന്നു 2 വർഷം. So that was again a very pleasant memory. ഇവിടുന്ന് ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ തുമ്പ VSSC-ല് ഇവിടുത്തെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ട് 2 പ്രാവശ്യം we took them there. ഇവിടുത്തെ ജില്ലാ പരിഷത്തിലുള്ള കുട്ടികൾ, അതായത് അവരെ നമ്മൾ ഫ്ലൈറ്റിന് VSSC-ല് റോക്കറ്റ് ലോഞ്ചിങ് സെന്ററിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്നു. We conducted an exam. We planned for a talent search exam. അതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് ഇവിടെ 8 താലൂക്കുകളാണുള്ളത്. അവിടുത്തെ 3 കുട്ടികളെ വീതം 24 പേരെ നമ്മൾ ഫ്ലൈറ്റിന് അവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നു. അപ്പൊ അവർക്കതൊരു വലിയ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ തുടർച്ചയായിട്ട് ഞാൻ 2 വർഷമായിരുന്നു, 2 വർഷവും ഈ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ പറ്റി. സോ ദാറ്റ് വാസ് എ വെരി സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈങ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്. പിന്നെ മെൻസ്ട്രൽ ഹൈജീൻ മാനേജ്മെന്റിനെ പറ്റി ഒത്തിരി there is a lot of debate on it. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് സ്വച്ഛ് ഭാരത് മിഷന്റെ കീഴിൽ there is a lot of funds that is available. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ അതിന്റെ ഒരു ഫണ്ട്സ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് we had a wide campaign. അതിന് ഞങ്ങള് ഉത്കർഷ എന്നാണ് പേരിട്ടത്. അപ്പൊ കുട്ടികളുടെ സ്കൂൾ ഇവിടെയുള്ള ജില്ലാ പരിഷത്തിലെ ടോയ്ലറ്റ്സ്, ചേഞ്ചിങ് റൂംസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. പിന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരേ സമയം എല്ലാ ഗ്രാമപഞ്ചായത്തിലും എല്ലാ ബ്ലോക്കിലും ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് ഹെഡ് ക്വാർട്ടേഴ്സിലും we supplied the maximum number of sanitary napkins. Almost 4 lakh napkins were satisfied at one time. അത് ലിംകയിൽ ഒരു റെക്കോർഡ് ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടി. സോ അത് വളരെ ഒരു എൻറിച്ചിങ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ മഹാരാഷ്ട്രയും കേരളവും വളരെ വളരെ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്, there is a lot of developmental need that is here. പിന്നെ ഭാഷ മറാഠിയാണ്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ ആദ്യം ടീച്ചർ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാൻ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഓഫീസിലാണ് ഐ ടോക്ക് ടു പീപ്പിൾ ഹിയർ ഇൻ മറാഠി. സോ ഭാഷ പഠിക്കുന്നത് ഒരു വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഫാക്ടറാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ അടുത്തും ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ഭാവിയിൽ all of you, I am very sure that you will all be very smart young officers. It should be a priority that you should learn the language, because communicating to people in their language is very very important. അവരെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ എഫക്റ്റീവ് ആയിട്ട് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഭാഷ പഠിക്കുന്നത് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആണ്. അല്ലാതെ I don't think the world is very small now. അപ്പൊ അത് കേരളത്തില് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കൾച്ചറൽ ഷോക്ക് ഒക്കെ ആദ്യമുള്ള ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ മാത്രമേ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. So I'm very comfortable here in Maharashtra, and I am happy that I am getting an opportunity to work here in the state of Maharashtra.
How IAS officers are trained at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration?
Sorry, എനിക്ക് audible അല്ലായിരുന്നു.
How IAS officers are trained at LBS and AIA?
ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന്റെ കാര്യത്തില് നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്തതിന് ശേഷം നമുക്കൊരു 3 മാസത്തെ യു ഹാവ് എ ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ കോഴ്സ്. അതില് എന്റെ സമയത്ത് IPS-ഉം ഫോറിൻ സർവീസും IAS-നും ഒരുമിച്ചായിരുന്നു. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഹൗ ദ സിസ്റ്റം ഇസ് നൗ. ആ 3 months it was very exciting for all of us. A lot of things which we have never done till date. We were all able to fulfill many of the things which we thought we would never do. For example, nammal Roopkund ennu parnjoru sthalathe Himalayatile we had a trek there. So that was one of the most memorable experiences. Pinne nammal ella nammade in the future career, the entire batch, your batch is like a family. So you're meeting them, you're making new friends. Pinne ningal finally you are joining Labasana. I think heaving a sigh of relief because you've been preparing for a longest while and then you cleared the exam. So you're going, it's a moment of happiness and relief for everybody. It's a very beautiful, it's a beautiful place, Missouri. Set in the mountains, our beautiful scenario, friends. There is a lot of exposure to lectures from all walks of administration and developmental activities in the annual. You have officers, you have academicians, you have experts. The pioneers in the fields would come and talk to you and they will share with you the experiences. ഈ രാജ്യത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന എല്ലാത്തിനെ പറ്റിയും all the sectors you are getting a crux from the people who initiated it or people who are pioneers in it. അതൊരു വലിയ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആണ്. ഫേസ് ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ കോഴ്സ് 3 മാസത്തിന് ശേഷം നമ്മൾ phase 1 തുടങ്ങിയാണ്. So you have regular classes, morning തൊട്ട് evening വരെ you have regular classes. Before that you have a session of physical exercise, PT and yoga, aerobics, അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരു മണിക്കൂറോളം രാവിലെ വെളുപ്പിനെ എഴുന്നേറ്റിട്ട് you have 1 hour of class. So that also I think it sets you for the disciplined life. So that is again something I think which many people continue even now. Our system set ആയത്, there are many of my batchmates who are still practicing the same thing. So അതിനുശേഷം പിന്നെ we used to do a lot of cultural activities. ഇപ്പം India Day ഉണ്ട്, പിന്നെ വെസ്റ്റ് സോൺ, ഈസ്റ്റ് സോൺ, അങ്ങനെ ഓരോ സോണിന്റെയും ഓരോ ദിവസം നമ്മൾ കൾച്ചറൽ ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യും. ഐ വാസ് പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് എ ഡ്രാമ. ഐ റിമെമ്പർ we did two plays. ഒരെണ്ണം we did it based on a Shakespearean tragedy. അതിനുശേഷം കണ്ണകീനെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടും we had done a play. So I have very very fond memories. So there is a lot of cultural activity, there is a lot of academic activity, there is a lot of travel. Phase 1, we have at the end of the phase 1, between the phase 1 we go for a tour. Bharat Darshan is like something I think you must all have heard about and you will all be dreaming about things. So I happened to go to the northeast. We went to the Chinese border, we went to Bihar, some Naxal affected areas. We visited Gurudwaras in Maharashtra. We were with the army, the navy and the air force. So it was such an exhilarating experience for almost 1.5 months. You were discovering India, literally. So you are experiencing the life with the soldiers. You live in the bunkers. I think it was one of the most beautiful experiences. കാരണം നമ്മൾ അനുഭവിച്ച് ഇന്ത്യയെ കണ്ടെത്തുക എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന പോലെ അപ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും നമ്മൾ അനുഭവിച്ച് ആ ഒരു you seeing it from close quarters. So that is again one thing that you can look forward to. പിന്നെ ഈ phase 2 ശേഷം you are sent back to the districts for your district training. ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ you are attached to a district collector. You will be probationer in a district. You will be later on attached, given independent capacity of different small offices. Means officers which you will be heading later on as SDM, Tehsildar, BDO, chief officers of the municipalities. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള field level, grassroots level കുറെ officers-ന്റെ ഓരോ മാസം you are supposed to hold charges. അതിനുശേഷം you go back to the academy again in phase 2. In phase 2, in my batch, there was an international trip. We were taken to Singapore, to Lee Kuan Yew University, and it was again, academically, I think Labasana gives you a plethora of experience. It gives you, memories of friendship. It gives you academic, I think, confidence because there's a lot of laws. As district magistrate, I was talking to you about COVID regulation, implementation of the lockdown and all. So what are the acts that are relevant? Here we work on the Epidemics Act and we take out orders under Epidemics Act and Disaster Management Act, which we actually learn in the academy. The Disaster Management Act is actually a session which almost pans out a day. So this is taught in the academy. So all those though you say that you actually learn it when you experience things in the field, you get a brief background of the stuff that are to come. So it is a very very beautiful experience. I think you should see pictures of Labasana and it will motivate you more to clear the exam. And I know as a student I also used to look at pictures of Labasana before probational lives.
There are a lot of perceptions that choosing economics as an optional paper does not allow us to score more marks in mains. Do you agree with this perception?
See, in economics, it is not a very popular option like public administration or sociology, but all of us here are students of economics basically. So I think economics definitely gives you an edge. It gives you an edge in general studies also, because there is a lot of answers. Your answers will become all the more better simply because of your knowledge of economics. So I think it's a very good option because there is a lot of overlap in general studies also. And also I feel it all depends on whether you want to go for your PG or you want to give the exam right after your graduation. So I believe that economics is one such subject which, as an option you should choose after your PG, because, for example, in Kerala, it's not an honors course. So all the people whom I cleared with economics, most of the people whom I met with, all of them are PG holders. So if you have plans to give it immediately after graduation, then I'm a bit doubtful about the choice of options. But after your PG, 100%, I think there should be no two thoughts about it. Economics is a great scoring optional. If you know, like for example, in my case, I was very lucky to have good mentors. I was a student of Dr. Narayanan sir, and I really cherish the classes that we had and the kind of coaching that I got under him. So I think it depends on whether you want to take up the exam after graduation or after post graduation. And I would strongly urge you, all of you, because after PG to 100% you should take economics because of the overlap with general studies. I would just request the moderator, my throat has a bit of a problem. So,
Yeah, you can take rest.
Yeah, you can.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, you can ask.
Okay. Fine.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. It's very happy to have a word with you, ma'am. Ma'am, which coaching center you went for training, ma'am? And what was your exam strategy? That means you're studying strategy for civil service preparation. That means studying about how many hours a day, ma'am? And which coaching center you went?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See, I did not go for any coaching till the completion of my graduation and my post-graduation, which, as I said in my introduction, after my post-graduation, I had Malayalam as a second option. So immediately after my post-graduation, I had gone to Pala to attend a short-term course of 1 month in Malayalam. And after that, I came to Trivandrum and I attended classes with Narayanan sir, as I mentioned before. I attended also there was EduZone Academy where then I attended classes for my prelims in general studies. I gave the test series. I joined a little late, but I used to attend their classes for prelims. I am not aware of the coaching institutes that are currently in Trivandrum. I hear that there are very good institutes and the kind of coaching that is available in Trivandrum is at par with what is offered in Delhi or any of the metro cities of India. So so the current situation, I don't know about the coaching institutes. With that, I'd like to say for mains general studies, I did not attend any coaching. I prepared on my own. And for economics mains, I continue to go to Narayanan sir. For interview, I had attended mock sessions at the State Institute of, at our State Civil Service Academy. I had attended, I think, 2 mock interviews there. And there was a brief grooming session also there. But that is it. And after my first attempt, when I cleared and I joined the NADT for training, and after that I took EOL. and I gave my next attempt. So during that period, I did not attend any coaching. I prepared on my own. So I think coaching is important, but I think it is also about, you know, how much of work you put in. Coaching may be about, you know, laying out the path, the strategy for you. It is also about, you know, similar people coming together. So there may be some positive reinforcement, some competition you would be urged. There are exams regularly, but I think it is not a necessity. Like if you are confident and if you are able to understand the exam, understand the what the exam requires, then it is not a necessity. But I am sure that coaching may help you chart out your path, and it may help you chalk out your strategies better. But to each his own.
Okay, ma'am. And the exam strategy, how many hours you study for them?
I am not somebody, you know, who used to count the number of hours. As I told you before, I was someone, you know, who used to be, of the general studies papers. I told you I liked reading general studies. I used to read the newspapers very religiously, and I used to enjoy doing that. So I used to do that even during my graduation. I remember, if I remember right. So reading the newspapers and all, preparing for the general studies, it is not like it was not a very tedious task, but still I try to study every, like, 2 options and general studies. So if I'm in a very fresh mood, then I would start with economics. I would try to read a little economics, then maybe a little bit of Malayalam, and then I would try to read general studies. But there are days when I have studied continuously, and there are days when I've studied nothing at all, which is perfectly okay. I also feel that, you know, the people so-called say you have to study so many hours. It is not, that doesn't matter, because I feel that it is about the productivity and the amount of concentration that you're giving in that time period that matters. And it is also about, you know, your mental state also. Like I feel you should read books, you should interact with friends. It is very important to have a support system. It may be family, it may be friends, because it's a very tiring and it's a very exhausting exam. It's a mentally exhausting exam also, because especially if you don't clear it in the first attempt, you may feel very demotivated. You will feel like giving up. So in those you know, instances, it is very, very important that you take help, you know, have that support system and family and friends. I've seen people shut out totally, but at least I feel it is very important that you keep in touch with friends, and, you know, you read books, or you once in a while you go in for a movie. I think it doesn't affect your preparation in any way, but you should be consistent in your preparation. It should be every day, as I said before, like dedicated hours for all the 2 optionals, or currently you have 1 optional. So 1 optional and general studies. I think that is very important. And I also feel it is about understanding the exam. Like, you know, it is also about, I see a lot of people buying a lot of material and then just starting with every book that you brought. But I would suggest that you read, you should understand what not to read also. I've seen people sit with newspapers for a whole day and taking out the entire matter in the newspaper from, you know, the first page to the last. So it is about the technique, you know, what, and I think you will learn to know, you as you go, you know, go about, you know, you progress in your preparation, you will know what to read in the newspaper. You will know exactly, okay, this is something that may come in general studies. This may, you know, this is going to, this is an important bill, or there is something that is related to environment, there is something that is related to economics, international relations. You should know what to pick and choose. And I would strongly urge you, you keep it, you know, a 4 subject or a 6 subject notebook. I used to do that when I used to prepare, where I used to take down notes from the newspapers. So there used to be an international section, a national section, and economics. And in general, I used to write down, you know, and it shouldn't be, your notes shouldn't cover pages together. That is what. So you should make notes in gists. And there are very good, you know, international relation articles that used to come in Hindu. So you used to, you know, cut out the whole article. again, it shouldn't pile up. You shouldn't cut out the whole newspaper and paste it in your book. But I think this is a skill that you will gradually acquire. But I feel newspaper reading is very, very important, and the more you enjoy it and the more it becomes a routine, the better it is. So, and I don't believe every day also cannot be similar. Like as a person also, there may be days when you are feeling low, or you don't feel like studies, or you are a person, a human being also, you may be having other engagements also. You may want to attend a function, you may want to watch a movie, which is perfectly all right. But after watching the movie, you make sure that you compensate for it and double your efforts, which is surely the case, because after leisure it is found that your productivity increases. So I feel you should focus on the output rather than the input of the number of hours. And I also urge you, because you asked about preparation, I think it's very important to understand the syllabus. I always used to have a copy of the syllabus, both for economics and for Malayalam, because it is very important. It is very easy to go out of the syllabus. You may read a lot of topics which are not at all required for the exam. So you have to go by the syllabus, exactly, especially for the optional subject. And you should chart it out, and you should read it and reread the topics which are mentioned in the syllabus, or the questions which have come before. So that is something every time you should, you should be very, very clear about this syllabus. And when you prepare, that should be in the forefront. Like, it should be very near to you so that you can always cross check. And you make sure that you study what is required, because I think what is required itself, it's such a vast syllabus that if you, go and read unnecessary material, then again, that's a waste of time. So that is why I said people, it's a very I think you must have heard it before about, being smart work. So I think it is about understanding the exam. What does it require? Going through the question papers. Also writing practice, I think it is very, very important. So it is one mistake also that I feel I have made. I feel it is very, very important, because time management is very important in the exam, especially in the mains, which is the real test. So you have to practice writing. So Malayalam option, one of my optionals was Malayalam. So one mistake that I did in maybe Malayalam and general studies is I never used to write my answers. So that is another thing that, if you need a lot of self motivation to write something every day. Like I said, you go through the options, you go through gender studies, and you also make it a point to write an answer every day. At least it can be a 10-mark question or a 20 marks question. But I think it's very, very important. You learn the art of writing, the skill of writing, and the art of writing within a stipulated time period. You have to, if your question paper is for 300 marks, then your time limit is maybe 3 hours. You have to exactly divide how much of mark is there for 5 minutes. And then all of your answers you should restrict like that. It is very difficult to do that inside the exam hall, but you have to plan for it in advance. So if it is a 5-minute, if it is a 10-mark question, then I will be devoting only 5 minutes for it. So that kind of discipline will come only from writing practice. So that is again some tips that I want to share. Like it's something which I feel I erred at, and I think you should do.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Apurva. And for me personally, as a person from Mumbai, I've seen this kind of power politics, or the how politicians can just change everything and anything under the sun. So is that the case there at Sindhudurg, and how do you face such situations in your day-to-day life?
See, I don't think, the kind of, I think everybody will have this picture of, the politician coming and interfering in, every decision that you take. But very often that is not the case. There are many seasoned politicians who listen to an officer also. If you reason out to them why you want to do it, and how do you envision it properly. See, I told you I worked as Jilla Parishad CEO. So Jilla Parishad is a local body. There are 50 elected members. So you had to work in very close coordination with these 50 elected members for a period of 2 years. So there are many instances when you are able to convince them, they are prepared to change their stance also. And I don't think you should have have this fixed idea that, politicians are, they will interfere or they are bad. I am in this district for the past, I think 2.5 years. And after my tenure here, then I'll be moving on. So there may be an MLA or an MLA of 4 or 5 terms, or there may be a Jilla Parishad member who is continuously a member for the past 25 years, who may be having more ground knowledge than me. Okay? Who would know ki, madam, this school requires the teacher more than this particular school, or this school in this wadi requires, this particular hamlet requires a teacher more than this. There are more students here. Or the actual ground realities, they may, very often it is important that you take inputs from them. For example, in COVID also, I told you we used the Gaon Niyantran Samitis because we had a huge number of people. You said you are from Mumbai. So you may be aware that Sindhudurg and Ratnagiri are 2 districts which saw huge exodus of people coming from Mumbai because all of them are having their roots in these 2 districts. So during the period of the lockdown, we had huge numbers coming, and it was very difficult for the district administration to monitor, each and every person coming in. Are they following the quarantine? So we directly gave the responsibility to the Gram Panchayat. So it was the Sarpanches, it was the Gram Panchayat Sadasya, along with the government missionaries at the ground level. Like we call them Gram Sevaks here, who are the village officers, the Ashas, the Anganwadi worker. All of them together, along with the grassroots level political representative who managed the quarantine. I think it is the same case everywhere in India. So very often, I think you can take their help also, and you needn't see them with a certain particular attitude. I have very good experience of convincing them, this is how it is, and you can very politely put it out to them, and very often I've seen them accepting also. So you needn't, many of you who are aspirants, who's hear stories about that. I don't think you should be swayed by that. There may be 1 or 2 instances, but I'm sure if you hold your ground and if you're able to convince the person, then it shouldn't be the matter. It shouldn't hold you back. Okay, because of this, I'm not preparing for the exam. I've heard many students raise their views like that, but that is not the case. You convince or you be convinced. Most of the case, in most of the situations, you will be able to convince them.
Ma'am, is an IAF officer's life really busy? Like, do you get opportunities to do other things that you love, like other than serving the society and things?
I think this is something, especially in the COVID times. Honestly speaking, I did not have much free time. As I said before, I joined as collector here by the fag end of June, and for the last 10 months, it has been a very hectic schedule. So I feel in exceptional situations, when there is a natural disaster, when there are elections, and in general also, it is a busy life. Like today, it's a Saturday, I'm still in office. I think our meeting was scheduled for 5 o'clock. But then I had requested Umatinga to shift it to 7 because I had a VC with our Chief Minister, and he was reviewing our performance, COVID performance. After that, I had a meeting with the medical college, and then after that, I'm still in office. So what I would like to tell you is, it is the results are also very rewarding. I'm perfectly okay being here, but then it will help if you have a support system. Your support system is very important. I feel. My family has also been extremely helpful. My husband, my in-laws, my parents. So that is a bonus. Plus, I think you will. Currently, I'm not able to pursue anything. I used to read a lot or music. I used to enjoy music, but for the last 10 months, not so much. But it is, I think, always good. You get a lot of opportunity to travel. See, you go to all these, if you Google Sindhudurg, you will be able to find that this is one of the most picturesque districts of Maharashtra. This is declared as a tourism district. So every time I go for a field visit, it is as good as, going to the seaside or, going through the, lush green cover and then interacting. So it is something which I love. And I always feel you can find out, time to do things once the disaster is over. I don't think it should be, you should be able to accommodate what you love to read, what you love to do. I don't think that should be a problem, Navneet.
So, okay,
Thank you.
as we are running out of time, we'll wind up our interaction session. Before concluding the program, I'll be calling our faculty coordinator, Srimati S.R. Janaki ma'am, to say a few words. Ma'am, please.
Good evening, Manju madam, and thank you so much for those inspiring words and for sparing time with our students. Pardon me for switching into Malayalam. I would like to share a personal experience. മഞ്ജു ചേച്ചി എന്നാണ് ഞാൻ വിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. മഞ്ജുജിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടാവാൻ വഴിയില്ല. നാരായൺ സാറിന്റെ അവിടെ വെച്ച് ഞാൻ 2007 മാറി വാലൻസിലെ ഗ്രാജുവേഷന് ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയം തൊട്ട് ഞാൻ കേൾക്കുന്ന പേരാണ് മഞ്ജുലക്ഷ്മി എന്നുള്ളത്. അന്നത്തെ ഫസ്റ്റ് റാങ്ക് ഹോൾഡർ ആണ്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ HCUലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ അവിടെയും മഞ്ജുലക്ഷ്മി എന്ന പേരാണ് എല്ലായിടത്തും നമ്മുടെ മലയാളി സമാജത്തിലും കൈരളിയിലും ഒക്കെ കേട്ടോണ്ടിരുന്നത്. സോ ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് ഇപ്പോഴാണ് എനിക്കൊന്ന് നേരിട്ട് കാണാനും നേരിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ളൊരു അവസരം ഉണ്ടായത്. ഐ എം റിയലി ഹാപ്പി. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഇതിവിടെ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തത് എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സിൻസ് 2007 യു ഹാവ് ബീൻ ഇൻസ്പയറിംഗ് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഹു പർസ്യൂഡ് എക്കണോമിക്സ്, സ്റ്റിൽ ഇൻസ്പയറിംഗ്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ചേച്ചിയോട് ഒന്ന് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയത് വലിയ സന്തോഷം. അപ്പോ താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ചേച്ചി. Now I think
I would also like to thank, because Jnana, I think as a former student, I also feel very, very happy. And I would like to thank Uma teacher for extending me this opportunity. I would like to thank all my teachers. As I said before, I think I have mentioned my personal experiences also at Women's College. So I would like to remember with gratitude all my teachers. Teacher Naidu sir, Narayanan sir, and everybody, all my friends, and the atmosphere that was provided by the college, which really helped me achieve my dream. I would like, as to all my juniors, I would like to wish you all the very best, and I hope you all are able to achieve what you dream of. And if there is any more help, today was a very busy day for me, as I mentioned in one answer. So I don't know if I was able to fulfill all your queries, but in future also, if you would want have a word or if you want some kind of guidance, I'll be happy to help you out as a senior. Wishing you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Manju madam. It's all the more dear to us because you are a part of our family.
Thank you, Janaki. Thank you.
And fondly remembering Narayan sir, ഇപ്പോൾ ഉമ്മ ടീച്ചറുടെ ആണെങ്കിലും മഞ്ജു മാഡത്തിന്റെ ആണെങ്കിലും എന്റെ ആണെങ്കിലും ഒക്കെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഗുരുവാണ്. Now I think Sheetal will take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janaki ma'am. Now I would like to welcome Sheetal for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of our department. We all are so grateful to Manjulakshmi ma'am for spending some time with us, clearing our doubts, and for sharing her experience with us. The session was so informative and interesting. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Sri Shabarish sir, Sri Balapurali sir, Sujitra ma'am, and Amrita ma'am, and also Shama ma'am. Special thanks to Ms. Chandana, who helped us in preparing poster. Thank you, dearest Uma ma'am, Janaki ma'am, Ganeshri ma'am, and Regis sir for guiding us throughout. Thank you, our dearest principal Aravind sir, for your unending support. And thanks to our dear seniors and all others who attended the webinar and helped us to make it so successful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, may I ask you one thing? Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, could you please give me your email ID or WhatsApp number?
I will share it with the coordinator. Uma teacher, I share it with Uma teacher. All
Okay,
right?
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Manju.
Can we wind up now, ma'am?
Sure, sure. It was well coordinated. Congratulations.
Apurva, are you there? So thank you everyone for being with us. It was a very informative section. Thanks a lot for being with us today. So now you can cut the call. Thank you for being with us.